Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scorched Earth is almost out, and I haven't posted a long-form video in more than a month. A lot has happened since you last saw me, but the reason why I haven't been making videos recently is because I got a full-time job now. Surprise surprise, bills don't pay for themselves. But anyways, before we jump into Scorched Earth later today, God I hope I finish this video in time, there's one dino that deserves our attention, and that is the Acrocanthosaurus, which has finally arrived in Ascended a few weeks ago. The Acro is a top-tier large carnivore, and today is going up against the golden standard of large carnivores, the Rex. This is a classic matchup, but fun fact, this is also the Acro's first appearance on my channel. Quite a shocking stat, since the Acro is one of the most beloved mod creatures. But why is it so damn popular? What makes it so special? Is it the amazing and detailed design, or the awesome abilities? How well those abilities stack up against the brute force of the Rex? We'll certainly find out today in the Acrocanthosaurus Aegis vs Tyrannosaurus Dominum episode. But before that, I do have to give a shout out to Blue Glue, the guy that made our awesome new background and logo, as well as this awesome emoji that will be available to use for all channel members. If you're in need of edits, emojis, graphic designs, logos, and a lot more, you can check out his Fiverr link in the description. Communication with him is great, and I would 100% work with him again. But enough about that, let's get back to the Acro. We're starting off with creature design. First, the Acro. When it comes to design, the Acro is the more imposing beast, thanks to its size and color regions. Unlike other mod dino creatures, which are similar to the Rex or the Allo, your standard large meat-eating theropods, the Acro manages to stand out when it comes to design. I really like when the creature design comes hand in hand with the creature's abilities, and the damage reduction stance and saddle position match the creature's design perfectly. The roar is very good, and it matches the Acro's terrifying presence and overall design. The Rex has a more traditional theropod design. Its build is much bulkier and its head is wider, but still the Rex is smaller than the Acro. Honestly, there isn't much to talk about when it comes to the Rex's design. It's simply solid. Nothing awful and nothing outstanding. Wait, I take that back. There is one outstanding thing about the Rex, and that's the roar. It's earth-shaking, literally. But in the end, in my opinion, the Acro takes this round, which was expected, as most mod dinos have better design than older vanilla creatures. By the way, there's a new variant for the Acro, the Ascended Acro. The only difference between them is the color patterns, the old one having stripes while the new one has spots. Keep in mind that while there are no stats difference between them, you cannot breed the two variants with each other, and they don't mate boost each other. Next, we have Ease of Tame. Starting with the Acrocanthosaurus. God, I love saying that name. Acrocanthosaurus. This is not your standard knockout team. You have to damage the Acro until it goes into shield stance. Then you have to lower its health more until it roars, and right at the moment you have to manually feed it either narcotics or biotoxin. Repeat the process until the Acro is knocked out. I recommend using a trap. Even though dinos in Ascended are harder to trap, you can just use a bear trap and then quickly build a cage around it using stone gates. The Rex is a traditional knockout thing. It does have more torpor than the Acro though, but once you knock it out, it will take a while until it wakes up. However, the fact that you can just strike it from a safe distance from a flyer and you don't have to get close to its mouth to feed a tranquilizer makes this tame much easier in my opinion. Both have the exact same preferences when it comes to food, so there's no difference there. The Rex wins this round. Up next, speed. First of all, the Acro has a stamina advantage, but that's not all. On our first run, the Acro managed to complete the test in 14 seconds, and surprisingly had some stamina left in the tank, 250 to be exact. The Rex, although not terrible when it comes to speed, has an insane stamina consumption while running. It took the Rex 24 seconds to complete the test, and it ran out of stamina close to the end. The Acro already has the Rex beaten, but the Acro has access to the adrenaline buff. This buff comes with a lot of bonuses. Honestly, it might be one of the best buffs in the game. It single-handedly takes the Acro from the above average tier to top of the line dino. When it comes to movement, the movement speed is increased by a whopping 50%, while also increasing the stamina regeneration, resulting in completing our test in only 9 seconds with 424 stamina left. So yeah, the Acro wins this one. Let's jump into Tankiness. But before that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I really hope I can get to 15,000 subs by the end of the year, so that would really help. Once again, when it comes to base stats, the Acro has the Rex beaten, this time by 250 hit points. It also gains 23% more health per wild level than the Rex, so when it comes to raw health, it's a convincing win for the Acro. The Acro has another ability that helps him here, the Strafe ability, where the Acro basically becomes a tank. The Acro advances sideways, protecting its rider, takes only 60% of incoming damage, and uses its bash with huge knockback as its primary attack. But that's not all. In this stance, the Acro gains adrenaline much faster than without it, and once the adrenaline meter is complete, the Acros can enter the adrenaline mode. The Rex, on the other hand, has one last advantage, and admittedly, I tend to forget about it. I'm talking about the tech saddle. Now, the reason why I tend to forget about it is because it doesn't really help the Rex when it comes to tankiness. Yeah, sure, it has more armor than a regular saddle, but high quality saddles can have more than double of what a tech saddle provides. We'll talk about the other benefits of the tech saddle in another category, but for now, the Acro wins the tankiness test. Next, the fan favorite, damage. Starting with the Acro. This time, we're off to a pretty underwhelming start. The attack speed is very bad, and that means the Acro only does 86 damage per second with its primary attack. The bash attack, which is used in the strafe stance, is even worse, but that attack is mainly for knockback, so it's not that bad. Finally, the stomp attack does a ton of damage per hit, but it does have a pretty hefty cooldown. Additionally, all attacks deal bonus damage to creatures with lower drag weights compared to the Acro. The lower the drag weight, the more damage the Acro does. The Rex, on the other hand, is a beast. It matches the Acro when it comes to stamina use per bite, but the Rex manages a whopping 130 damage per second, thanks to its amazing attack speed. Finally, the Rex wins a category. Oh, wait a moment. Guys, my bad. Hope the Rex fans can forgive me for my unprofessionalism, but I just received fresh info that the Acro's adrenaline buff boosts its damage capabilities as well. By a lot. Rex fans, you might want to turn around for this one, because once the adrenaline buff kicks in, the Acro matches the Rex in attack speed and also gets its melee damage boosted by 90% for a total of 168 damage per second. Oh yeah, and that stomp ability, it just turned into 3 stomps per usage. This completely knocks the Rex out of the park, but I'll actually call this a tie, since the buff lasts 35 seconds in Ascended and needs to be activated first, while the Rex is full power from the start of the fight. Points for both. Let's check out special abilities. Look, I know this looks like a slugfest for the Rex, but remember, in the Versus series we're only comparing the best of the best, the top of the line creatures. Even if a dino gets completely destroyed, that doesn't mean it's bad. But with that being said, the Acro annihilates the Rex in this category. I mean, let's be honest, between the strafe ability and the adrenaline buff, the Acro goes from a decent turret soaker to a killing machine in a similar fashion to a Blood Rage Acrocanthosaurus. And the Rex has a poop stunning roar and an element shooting saddle with fixed damage? Seriously? No tail attack, no rage, no killing buffs? Look, personally, I don't think the Rex needs special abilities to compete with other vanilla creatures, since pure brute force is his thing. But when it comes to the Acro, this, unlike the other categories, was a no contest. The Acro easily wins this one. And our last category is utility. First, both of them are great for meat and hide collection. Both are great choices for boss fights, minus the Alpha Dragon one, with the Rex having a small advantage for being easier to fit on the teleporter. The Acro does have 200 extra base weight, so in theory is a better cargo dino, though I don't know if anyone would use either of them for moving resources. It comes down to the fact that the Acro is a decent turret soaker, thanks to the strafe ability and its ability to damage stone structures, even though the wiki states it can also damage metal, but I haven't tested this, maybe someone can let us know in the comments. The Rex, on the other hand, is an amazing base rating mount, thanks to its tech saddle. The tech saddle cannon can damage all tiers of structures. but it's surprisingly effective against tech tier, dealing 5 times the damage to tech structures compared to metal structures. For that, I'm going to call this a draw, as both of them have a lot of good uses when it comes to fighting. Well, that's it guys. Final score 6-3. Considering 7 is the perfect score you can get in a 1v1 versus series episode, you can clearly see why the Acro is so popular. The design is iconic, the creature is a beast, and its usefulness is top tier for any tribe in Ark. Can't wait to play with this on Scorched Earth. But until that, don't forget to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below, I don't know, just comment something, as it helps with the algorithm a lot. Maybe you wanna tell me how much you've missed my videos over the past month, or maybe you just wanna tell me how much you hate me for making fun of the Rex. Again. Either way, I can't wait to answer to you all in the comment section. Until next time, Spartacus out. God, I've missed this outro.